protocol is standing at $15.29. You can see that its current market cap is about 313 million. This number might actually be a little bit inaccurate. I believe CoinGecko has the actual updated market cap, so I'm just going to pull that up real quick. Because they've released some tokens recently, but its fully diluted market cap is only 1.5 billion, which is not that high considering its use case, which I will be talking about in 1 second. But before that, we'll just show you, yes, the market cap is actually about $508 million, and that is based on, the difference is based on their token release schedule. So they just recently released a couple more tokens of their total. It says the circulating supply is 20 million on CoinMarketCap, and here it's 33 million. So they just released about 13 more million tokens. But even with that, their market cap is still relatively low right now with $500 million market cap. But what Band Protocol does is Band Protocol is a competitor to Chainlink. Now, if we just go look at Chainlink real quick, we're going to see that Chainlink has a market cap of $20 billion. 20 billion, right? And Band here is only at, 500 million, or for fully diluted, we're talking about 1.5 billion, right? So it's about 1/15 the market cap of Chainlink when it is fully diluted. So Band Protocol is a decentralized oracle. And now I know a lot of you guys out there are going to be like, what the hell is a decentralized oracle? Don't worry about it. You don't need to know more than the fact that oracles are a way of connecting blockchain with real world companies. So it's a way for these real world companies to get data from blockchain. And so Chainlink does this exact same thing. We're not going to go too much into the specifics of decentralized oracles, but just know that basically the two biggest decentralized oracles currently are Chainlink, and then the next runner-up is Band. And so you can see that there's a huge difference in their market cap. We're going to be talking about why I think that difference is going to become a lot less. There's going to be less of a gap between them. So this is Band's website, and you can go look at it if you want. It tells you a little bit more about exactly what they do, but I'm going to be pointing out a couple of very important things. So for one, they just had this announcement, and if you guys have ever heard of Thor token, VThor, that token exploded after having a similar announcement about a month after it had exploded. But we're going to be talking about something that is even more important. And if I can just find it real quick. Holy. Here we go. Finally. So this is the CEO of Band, Soravis Srinawakun. I just absolutely butchered his name, but he retweeted this picture and said, "Do the math," right? So we're gonna do the math real quick. Let's look at this. So here we have Chainlink, and it has data requests per day at about 5,000. It has a total value staked of about 10.2 billion and a market cap of 13 billion, right? And now then these projects below are the projects that use Chainlink. So you can see Av has a $5.8 billion. I don't think that's market cap actually. I think that's how much is staked within Chainlink. And so if you look to the right side, then we have band, right? And so look at these real quick. Look at these little projects. They have 5.8 billion in it, 2.2 billion in it, 1.8, 0.4. Band over here, we have about 6 times the data requests per day that Chainlink does. And I can actually tell you the reason for this. The reason is because Chainlink runs on Ethereum. Now, if you're at all invested in Ethereum or you're knowledgeable on the space, you will know that as Ethereum gets more expensive, the transactions get more expensive, the fees get more expensive, right? And so part of the reason that Chainlink is only doing 5,000 requests per day is because it is so expensive to use it. It is so expensive to do a single data request because of how much the fee is on Ethereum. Well, this is where Band has has the upside, is that Band protocol uses Polkadot. Now, their transaction fees are extremely low, so it's able to produce way more transactions per day. It's able to give out much more data because of how much cheaper it is, right? And then another thing, with Ethereum 2.0 coming out in, I don't know, the next 2 to 3 years, the Ethereum 2.0 will cause Chainlink to have 12-minute confirmation times for these data requests, right? Polkadot, what Band is using, has about 5-second confirmation times. So we're talking about in 2 to 3 years, maybe, the Ethereum will now have 12-minute confirmation times. Like, that's like amazing. It's not, but Polkadot over here already has 5-second transaction times. So not only is it a lot cheaper to use Band protocol as a decentralized oracle, it's also much, much faster, right? And so then you go and look at the projects that are on or that are using Band, and we have what, 9.2 billion, 1.9 billion. Then the other ones are a little smaller, 0.4 and 0.2. But when you look at the total value staked in Band versus the total value staked in Chainlink, Band has more money invested in it, and it's doing 6 times the transactions that Chainlink is doing, right? And yet its market cap is, this says 0.35 billion. I believe that was before they released more tokens. Now it's 0.5 billion, right? So we're talking 1/26th. Well, no, this market cap's actually old. So now this market cap of Chainlink is about 20 billion. So we're talking 1/40th the market cap. Band has 1/40th the market cap of Chainlink, right? And it's doing 6 times the amount of requests, and it has more money staked in it, right? Now, the bottom of this picture, not very important, but these are the other competitors for decentralized oracles. And if you look at them, they're all really small. The only one I've ever even heard of besides Chainlink and Band is DIA. And if you look at the projects on it, there's not really any money there. Right, so these are the 2 big decentralized oracles, and it seems to me that Band has a lot of unrealized potential, right? And so we're going to look at its chart. Actually, I'm going to look at its chart on CoinMarketCap real quick. So this is the Band chart, right? It started out super low a long time ago, and then back in 2020 in August hit about $14, came back down to 5-ish, and then it hit a high of about, I think it was 23 on Binance. It's showing 21 here, but I believe it was 23 on Binance on April 15th, right? And since then it's just been kind of bouncing around. So it hasn't really broken out of this, especially if we look at it on a logarithmic scale. I'm actually going to pull up the trading view chart for it real quick, just because it gives you a lot more information if you look at the Band BTC on a logarithmic time frame, or logarithmic scale rather. So we're going to look at this real quick. Let's make sure this is log. It is. Cool. We're just going to look. This line's irrelevant. But you see here has the top, gives it some resistance, right? So we're drawing our trend line here, hits this. So it broke through this trend line right here, right? And then it came back, tested it a couple times. You can see these candles tested, this candle tested, and it's been holding pretty well. So what I'd be looking for right now is for it to start breaking up through this 200 EMA and start rising from there. This is on a 1 day. Now, if we look at the 1 week, we can see it's been holding this 50 EMA really well. So if we're looking for bullish signals, we should be looking for it to stay above this 1 week on the 50 EMA. And if you are looking for a bearish signal, it would be if it stays below this 50 EMA. Now, remind yourself that I just said it stays below, because if you look at these past 2 weekly candles, it did drop below, but it's not staying below. Right now, if it starts tipping over and we see a candle where it just touched the high of the candle, just touches this, and then it drops down to, I don't know, let's say this kind of level, this 0.25 about, that would be a bearish sign. But as long as it keeps holding this 50 EMA on the daily and doesn't get rejected off of it and just starts dropping downwards, I would say this is a pretty bullish signal. Now, I'm going to give you another case for its bullishness. Now, this chart right here is Harmony. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not. It was a very small token that grew to be something very large. So you can see this is in terms of USD, I believe. Yeah. USDT. So it's a Harmony USDT chart, right? It was sitting around this 0.005 level for a very long time. I actually have some friends that bought at that level, and they've since made, I don't even know, 40, 50x, something crazy like that. But I want you to look at this chart, right? Sitting at this level for a really long time, and then all of a sudden it doubles, right? And then after that, a huge buy candle comes in, and I'm talking massive. I mean, this thing went from about 0.009 to 0.044. So it did almost a 5x return, and this is in the span of less than a day. So basically what this means is this was one massive market buy on this specific pair, on this specific exchange. So if you go look at, just regular Binance, and you look at one USD or one USDT or one BTC, you're not going to see this, right? But on this exchange, on Binance US, in the one USDT trading pair, it had a massive market buy. Now I'm just going to show you what happens after this massive market buy, right? So we're just going to scroll nice and slow and just see how insane this thing went, right? And I believe that was the peak, 22 cents. And this was the buy candle that was already a 5x return. So from this initial lows, it did, I don't know, maybe 25x at least, right? So after this buy candle, it started pumping, and then it just kept going. So it did some pretty crazy returns, and even now it's actually held this pretty well. It's holding this blue moving at 99-day moving average pretty well. If it breaks this, I would be considering that a bearish scenario, but if it keeps holding this, I would consider this cryptocurrency to still be bullish. But anyways, we're not talking about Harmony in this video. We're talking about Band, right? So I want to show you something similar. Band, in the Band USDT trading pair on Binance US, did the same thing. So you can see it's been trading, right? Normal, and then all of a sudden we have this massive buy candle. So what this is just one person, or not necessarily one person, but it's one massive market buy. Someone was just like, hey, I'm gonna put a ton of money into this thing, and I'm willing to buy Band from, I believe it started at like 17 all the way up to $75. So whoever this was that bought this, they were willing to pay probably on average at least like $25 to $30 per Band. And you know, some of those shares they even bought in the 50s and all the way up to $74.95, right? Now it has yet to make this massive run, but my guess is that we're going to see something very similar to what Harmony did, where it had this massive up, right? This massive market buy, and then in the days following, weeks following, whatever, it just explodes, right? We see some massive 25, 40x gains. And I think that is what's going to happen to Band. Right now, if we're looking at this chart to be similar, so it says Harmony had a high of 23 cents, right? After this market buy, which the market buy was at 4.5 cents. So that's about, I don't even know, like 5x about, maybe 6, between 5 and 6x, right? And so if we have that same thing happen here, if we have a 5 or a 6x happen to Band, let's be generous, right? Or the opposite, let's be stingy. Let's say it has a 4x return. 4 times by 75, that's literally $300. I'm going to make sure I did the math real quick on my phone right. But yeah, it's $300. If Band hits $300, 300 divided by 15 is what it's currently at, right? That is a 20x return. So you're looking, you could maybe have a 20x return. That would be an amazing return for this. I'm not saying that it will do that, but I'm saying, hey, I'm looking at a pattern here. I'm looking at what happened with Harmony. I'm looking at what happened with Band and what is yet to happen with Band. And I'm saying this thing could hit $300. Now, realistically, if it does hit $300, right, and let's say the circulating supply stays the same, right, that would give it a market cap of about $10 billion, right? That's if it hits $300 and its circulating supply stays the same. Its market cap would be $10 billion, right? Now let's go back and let's look at Chainlink. We're seeing something that does the same exact use case, right? It does the same thing as Band, and it is more expensive to use, so it can't even do as many requests per day, and it's much more expensive in terms of time, right? We're talking in a couple years it'll have a 12-minute confirmation time versus Band is having 5-second confirmation times right now, right? And I believe you can even see the confirmation times go through in 5 seconds. So this shows Band, and it actually shows you the total amount of requests, right? So it's saying that it's had about 5 million total requests. It also shows the market cap, the price, whatever, right? But look, these are real transactions that are coming through. So if we go and we just look at these, they're just coming through every couple seconds and completing them every couple seconds. And it's just, it's so much faster and easier and cheaper to use than Chainlink, which has a $20 billion market cap, which is a 40x. And if Band does a 40x from $15, that is $600 per Band. This is insane gains. That this Band protocol has very unrealized potential. I don't think a lot of people have realized exactly what it's doing, exactly what it could do in the near future. And that's why personally I like it. I like the stock. And honestly, I think that's about it for today. I don't really have much more to say about Band. If you guys want to look more into it, definitely go to their website here. You can read their white paper if you want. You can look at their Twitter. But yeah, I believe in Band. I think it's a very good investment. So thank you guys for listening to me. I hope that this works out for you guys, and I hope, we all see some insane gains on this next bull run.